pounding hooves of untamed horses still thunder over mountains, meadows, and canyons. Every herd has its own leader, but there is only one Fury. Fury, king of the wild stallions. And here in the Wild West of today, hard-riding men still battle the open range for a living. Men like Jim Newton, owner of the Broken Wheel Ranch, and Pete, his top hand, who says he cut his teeth on a branding iron.
Fury! Fury!
Wild as Fury is, that's the one human voice he's learned to love and obey. The voice of the boy who once saved his life. Jim Newton's boy, Joey.
Fury!
Here's a mutual trust and affection that everyone can understand. Especially a woman like Helen Watkins, Joey's school teacher and unfailing champion.
Kneel down, let me get on you.
And there they are together, a great wild horse and the only person on earth who can ride him. Joey and Fury.
Did it again.
They won't even get close enough to lay a rope on him. The boss ought to know better than to waste time trying to catch him.
Let him go, Pete.
What do you mean, let him go? We've been chasing him for 3 years.
Yeah, we'll get him. Come on, let's get back to the ranch. Throw a rope across the center of the corral. Put the horses on the other side.
What for?
And I got a hunch that black stallion's going to start missing his herd. I want to give him every chance to get back with him.
Come on, fella, don't stop now. A few steps farther.
Well, we finally got him. Perhaps some breaking in the way he can run. Throwback, probably.
He's sure full of fire and fury. What are you going to name him?
I think you just saved me the trouble. Fury.
Hey, that's pretty good.
He's a fighter, isn't he?
I'll soon bust that out of him.
You ain't gonna let him pick a club.
I'm betting on the stallion.
your laugh. But he's no ordinary Mustang.
I agree with you, Bart. I'll leave him alone for a few days. Give him a chance to cool off. I'll have a go at him when I get back from town.
You better mind the boss, Bart. Treat that black horse kind and gentle-like.
Hey, Pete.
Yeah?
Where are my shirts?
Your shirts? Why, put them right there in that second drawer like I always do. Huh. Come to think of it, I didn't do it. I plumb forgot to wash this week.
Seems to me what we need around here is a washing machine.
What we need around here is a wife.
Oh, now, don't start that again.
Of all the stubborn jugheads. A man needs a wife around to do for him, Jim. This place ain't never been the same since.
Look, I had the only wife I ever wanted. Now, when are you going to get that through your jughead?
Just because the good Lord saw fit to take her away.
The good Lord had nothing to do with it. He's a crazy drunk. If he hadn't been doing 90 miles an hour, Ellen and Billy would still be here.
Yeah, that black devil's still acting up. Don't like being fenced in.
Who does?
Just have to take. No, you don't, George! Tell me where to go. You should hold on. Bigger guys than you tried to push me around.
Look out!
Oh, no, you don't. That's the third window you've broken this month.
I didn't break your old window.
Sure, I know it broke itself. Well, you can tell your story to Judge Blake down at Juvenile Hall.
Go ahead, take me in. See if I can.
I've had a lot of patience with you, Joey, but there is a limit. The last time you were here, I warned you that if you didn't cooperate, I'd have to send you someplace where they'd see to it that you did. Since you have no one who's legally responsible for you, I'm sending you to the Whitfield Home for Delinquent Boys.
Mind if I butt in, Judge?
Why, Jim. Jim Newton.
Hello, Judge. How are you?
Fine, fine. What brings you here?
This boy in a broken window?
Did you see him do it?
No, he didn't break it. He was telling you the truth. It was another boy.
Well, now, why didn't you tell me that, Joey?
I think maybe he thought he was doing the right thing by keeping his mouth shut.
Is that the way it is, Joey?
I ain't gonna snitch on nobody.
Joey, it is not snitching when you're telling the truth.
Mind if I talk to him, Judge?
No, go right ahead.
I saw that scrap of yours. You throw a pretty good right.
Who are you, a cop or something?
No, I'm just a guy who likes a good fight. When it's something worth fighting for. What was that one about?
Just another big mug trying to push me around. They're always trying it.
Well, maybe you bring it on yourself.
It ain't my fault I'm an orphan.
Who takes care of you?
Nobody. I do all right for myself.
Well, it doesn't look much like it with the judge about to send you to reform school.
What's your angle, mister? You another one of those welfare guys? Like the one that put me in the orphanage?
You haven't got much faith in human beings, have you, Joey? Well, I can't say that I blame you. How would you like to live on a place where the only bars are on the fence gates?
You kidding? There ain't no such place.
I've got one. A ranch. Raise horses, mostly.
Horses?
Mm-hmm. You like horses?
Who doesn't?
Well, now, maybe I could use a sort of a handy boy to help round up the horses and the milk cows, feed the chickens, things like that. And after a while, maybe you'd have your own cow pony and saddle. Go out with us after the wild mustangs. Would you like that?
Gee, are you on the level, mister?
Well, Joey, let's start out with the idea that what you and I say to each other is always on a level. Wouldn't you like that, too?
Yeah, I'd like that fine.
Good. As a matter of fact, so would I. Now, that's the way it's got to be if we're going to get along. Now, let's talk to the judge.
I'll show you who's top hand around here.
I hope you know what you're doing, Bart. You know what the boss said about leaving this horse alone?
I'll break him if it's the last thing I ever do. All right, turn him loose. I'll tame him down if I have to beat his brains out. I thought I told you to lay off that horse. Well, he seemed ready for a ride, didn't he, Pete?
Yeah, ready as he'll ever be, I reckon. I've seen some that's never settled down.
Well, that's exactly what'll happen to him if you manhandle him. The only way to make a real horse out of that stallion is to treat him with kindness. Make friends with him. So you keep your ropes off it and leave him to me.
Well, whatever you say, boss. I was only trying to earn my pay.
Okay, no harm done this time. Hey, don't get up there.
Gee, I didn't mean no harm, Mr. Jim.
Well, I was only thinking about you, Joey. That's a savage animal out there. He's as mean and tricky as a lion or tiger, and almost as dangerous.
Gosh, it sure don't look it. He needs something. Can I talk to him?
Sure, all you like, but don't go near him. Pete, this is my friend Joey. He's going to spend some time with us.
Howdy, young fella.
You better get him over to the bathhouse. It's about chow time, isn't it?
Yeah.
What's cooking?
Steak, potatoes, green beans, and I think I seen Cook making pumpkin pies.
Does that sound good to you, Joey?
Sure does. Except for the bathhouse business.
Come on, Joey, get yourself rinsed and wrung out.
Fury, come and get it. What's the matter, fella? Ain't you never had an apple? Better get over here. Won't be nothing left but the car. What are you scared of? You're 10 times bigger than me. Now you're talking. Come on. I know it's eating you. You don't like to be pushed around any more than I do. But you got this place all wrong. Didn't you hear what Mr. Jim said? Nobody's allowed to lay a finger on you. He's a real on-the-level guy. Attaboy. You know something? Me and you could be real pals. Come on. Take it. You can't whip him. I won't let you.
Will you get out of here, kid? Let's go get the doctor. Hurry up. How did it happen?
I saw the fool kid going in there, so I went in with my whip just in time to keep that stallion from killing him.
Why would he do a thing like that?
Maybe he was trying to make a friend out of the horse.
How bad is it, Tom?
Fortunately, there's no open wound.
Stubborn little guy. Warned him the horse was dangerous. He could have been killed.
Well, he'll have to stay in bed for a few days. Too bad there are no women folks around. He'll need care.
How about that young woman who took over the old Cranford place?
You mean the new school teacher, Miss Watkins?
Yeah. She looks like a right friendly young lady. Maybe she'll lend us a hand.
We hardly know her, Pete.
Well, this is one chance to get acquainted. I'll ride over and ask her.
Good. Now, just keep him warm, and I'll drop by a little later in the day. Oh, don't bother to see me out, Jim. I know my way.
Thanks, Tom.
Bye.
Wonder if I made a mistake, Pete. Bit off more than I can chew.
Yeah, he's got a wild streak in him, just like that stallion.
He's not a bad boy. Just a little mixed up and kind of lost.
If you ask me, they both need their ears pinned back.
Well, young fella, you nearly got yourself killed. I warned you to stay away from that horse.
He didn't mean to do it. It was that other fella he was after.
You mean Bart?
That's the one. He was gonna beat him, and I tried to stop him.
Joey, I thought we agreed to level with each other.
Sure, Mr. Jim. I'm leveling with you.
Maybe it was that cloud on the head that got your memory a little foggy. You were in the corral when Bart first saw you.
No, sir. Honest, I wasn't. I was outside the fence, just talking to the horse.
Joey, trying to put the blame on somebody else is worse than snitching. Now, what really happened is that Bart came into the corral with a whip just in time to keep the horse from killing you. And what's more, your disobedience cost me the best stallion I ever had. Now, you think it over. When you're ready to tell the truth, I'll listen to you.
Joey, what we say to each other is always on the level. On the level. On the level. On the level. Hello, Miss Watkins.
Hello.
Mighty nice of you to come over and help us like this.
What else are neighbors for?
How is he?
Oh, much better. I'm fixing him a little soup.
Think he'll eat it?
Oh, I hope so. He should have some nourishment.
Still balky, huh?
Well, I'm afraid he's not very well adjusted.
Yeah, he's contrary, all right. It's probably why he went into the corral, because I told him not to.
Well, I don't suppose anyone's paid much attention to him since his mother died. Neglect does things to children. Like horses, they need love and affection to bring out the best in them.
You seem to know a lot about children.
Well, I should. I've raised 4 of them.
You what?
Oh, my brothers and sisters. My father was left alone with the 5 of us.
Oh.
Are you sure you were right about what happened at the corral?
Of course I'm sure. Why?
Oh, you can usually tell when a boy is really hurt inside and not just pretending.
Maybe. Maybe with kids like your younger brothers, but not with Joey. Joey's different. Joey was knocking around the city streets by the time he was old enough to walk. Kids like that learn how to cover up mighty early.
Oh, I wouldn't be too sure it's the same with Joey. It looks to me like a case of a broken heart. His idol suddenly turned up with clay feet.
You mean just because I didn't believe him?
That would be enough, wouldn't it?
Maybe I better have a little talk with him. Mr. Jim, I told you the truth and you wouldn't believe me, so I better go back where I belong, Joey. I guess you were right. Maybe I've got a lot to learn about kids.
After chow, we'll cut out the big gray and the buckskin pony and brand him.
Bart won't be here for chow. Here's your month's pay. Now saddle up your horse and get moving. You're fired. For what? To keep me from going to jail for manslaughter. Read this. Looks to me like I got my liars mixed up. Now go on.
Don't be scared. It's only me. I'm your friend. I know you didn't mean to be me. What's the matter, fella? You hurt bad? Take it easy. Don't do nothing foolish like trying to get up. Gosh, that's a bad cut. Now you stay right here. I'm going to get help. Mr. Jim! Mr. Jim!
I'm looking all over for you, Joey.
Are you all right? Sure Fury ain't. He's hurt bad. Way over there.
Come on, show us the way.
Well, what do you know?
Yeah, you know me, don't you? Kind of like to trample me down and sink those teeth in me, wouldn't you? Well, here's something you don't know. I'm the doctor who's going to heal those wounds and end your suffering once and for all. Oh, pal. This is where the best of friends must part.
Now behave yourself. I told you I'd bring hell.
It's a bad cut, but the bleeding stopped. I think it'll be okay if we can get him to the doctor's trailer.
I'll go for him.
You sure he'll be all right, Mr. Jim?
I think he will, with you taking care of him, Joey.
You mean you trust me to look out for him?
I think I trust you with everything I have. I'm sorry I ever doubted you.
Gee, you hear that, Fury? Me and you gonna stick together every minute till you're all well.
What's the verdict, Doc?
With proper care, he'll be as good as new. Not even a scar. But he'll need constant watching for at least a week to keep him off his feet.
Don't worry about that, Doc. I'll take care of him every minute, day and night.
Well, Fury couldn't be in any better hands than that, Jim.
That's right, Doc. Horses know who their friends are. You can't fool them. All right, Joey. I'll bring in your mattress and bedding.
And I'll see that you don't go hungry.
And I'll dig out my old guitar and sing you both to sleep.
You hear that, Fury? I'm gonna take good care of you. What I'm gonna do with you, Fury? Jump in the crowd like you did last night? One of these times you're gonna get hurt. We got a good home here. You ought to appreciate it. After I get this on you, I'm gonna show them how gentle you are. Come back here, Fury! I'm not gonna hurt you. I tell you. All I want to do is sit on your back for a minute. Hey, Mr. Jim, look! I'm riding Fury!
Look at the little son of a gun.
You okay, Joey?
Yeah, I guess so.
Are you out of your mind, Newton? That boy shouldn't be in there with that wild horse.
Hi, Charlie. Oh, that's all right. Joey can handle Fury.
Well, I'm glad somebody can.
What do you mean?
A wild horse has been raiding my herd.
Well, you're accusing Fury?
And we all know he's been jumping his corral.
But did you actually see him raid your place or anybody else's?
No, but he's the only wild stallion we know of in this territory.
Look, Charlie, when a horse as frisky as Fury is, he's bound to get out of his corral once in a while.
He's not frisky. He's vicious and ought to be shot.
You can't talk about Fury like that, Mr. Stevens.
Let me handle this, Joey.
Well, if you don't, I will.
We won't let him shoot Fury, will we, Mr. Jim?
Oh, of course not, Joey. Now, you run along and do your chores.
Okay.
You know, Jim, you can't blame Charlie Stevens for feeling the way he does. After all, Fury has been getting out of his corral. And it does seem sort of peculiar that the broken wheel is the only ranch that ain't been hit by the raider.
Yeah, but that's not enough evidence to prove it's Fury.
Well, you can't blame Charlie for thinking.
Fury! Don't! Come back here! Fury! Fury! He's got to be around here someplace. Fury! 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 You're lucky I found you. Now we gotta get back to the ranch before anybody knows you got out of here. Don't you know what they want to do to you? How do you expect me to... Fury, look! Something's going on at the Stevens ranch. What's that white horse up to? He's stealing Mr. Stevens' horses. We gotta tell Mr. Jim. Mr. Jim, wake up, Mr. Jim.
What's the matter? What are you doing out of bed, Joey?
Mr. Stevens' ranch was raided. A white horse did it. I saw him.
Oh, you've just been having a bad dream, Joey.
It wasn't a dream. Fury jumped his corral and I went after him.
I found him Mr. Stevens' ranch. We was starting back when we saw this white horse open the gate of the corral.
Now, wait a minute. You saw a horse open a corral gate?
Yes, I did, Mr. Jim. And it wasn't Fury. He was with me when it happened.
What's all the ruckus? Where are you going?
He's not going anywhere. He's just been out on the range with Fury.
I sure was. And go look at him if you don't believe me. He's not even cooled off yet.
Sounds like a good idea. You're right. He's been traveling plenty. And you say you saw the Stevens ranch being raided, huh?
Yes, sir.
You sure that was after you found Fury and not before?
Sure, I'm sure. Don't you believe me either?
Of course we believe you, Joey. Let's get back to the house.
The thing that looks bad is, what was Fury doing over there if he didn't go to raid?
I don't know. But it wasn't Fury who was doing the raiding. It was a white horse.
Evening, Charlie.
Newton, my ranch was raided tonight.
I know it. I just checked up on Fury, and he's been out.
And then I was right all along.
Well, now, wait a minute, Charlie. Joey saw Fury get out of his corral, and he followed him. And Joey saw a white stallion cutting out your herd.
You expect me to believe that? If there were a white stallion running loose in this range, we'd know about him. And it's mighty peculiar that this boy here is the only one who saw him.
Well, at least we owe it to Joey to look into it.
You don't have to look beyond that corral.
Well, you may be right, but Pete and I are going to start checking that range in the morning.
We'll find that white stallion, Mr. Stevens. You'll see I'm not lying.
Nobody said you were, Joey. Good night, Charlie.
Night.
Come on, let's get to bed.
You stay here, Joey. We'll be going most of the day.
Can I come along too, Mr. Jim? Please?
Now, we got a lot of territory to cover, and we got to move fast.
Besides, somebody's got to stay here to look after things.
Okay.
That horse is anywhere out in here, he must be hiding in a gopher hole. 6 hours. The only cayuses we've seen are the ones we're setting on.
Now, let's go.
Either I'm seeing things or that's Charlie Stevens out checking the range, too.
Well, Newton, where's that phantom the boy saw?
No sign of him.
Are you satisfied now?
No. If Joey saw him, then he's out there someplace.
We've looked into every canyon and gully for 10 miles around here. Maybe he didn't look good enough.
I'm a busy man, Newton, and this is just a waste of time. I'll go along for one more day, that's all.
All right, that's fair enough, Charlie.
Now, incidentally, we're setting up a patrol tonight. If we spot any horse that doesn't belong out here, black or white, we're going to shoot him on sight.
And don't you worry, Fury. Mr. Jim wouldn't have been gone so long unless he was chasing that white horse. You'll see. He'll catch him. Where's the white stallion, Mr. Jim? Didn't you catch him?
Nope.
I'm beginning to think we're chasing a mirage.
But I saw him. Really, I did.
Well, maybe we'll catch him tomorrow.
Meanwhile, let's make sure that Fury stays home tonight.
This ought to curb that wild streak of yours for tonight anyway.
I don't think Fury's gonna like that.
Well, that's for his own good, Joey. I don't like it any better than he does.
I was hoping we wouldn't have to tie him up. He'll be wanting out of this corral worse than ever once we turn him loose.
No, we don't have any other choice, Pete.
Now, you take it easy, and I'll see you later.
came across one of our horses, badly beaten up. Looks like it was in a fight.
The raider?
Looks like it. Couldn't have happened more than a few minutes ago.
If that renegade's still around, we'll get him now. Let's go. There he is. White stallion. Come on, he's heading back to the Broken Wheel Ranch. This is right where I tied off. That horse sure wanted out of here.
Gee, if I'd only known sooner, maybe I could have stopped him.
I doubt it, Joey.
I just don't understand it. Fury ain't jumping his corral just 'cause he's wild. And something prompted him.
Now, don't tell me he's been in that corral all night. We just chased him halfway across the range. That horse is a killer, Newton. There's no use waiting any longer to get rid of him.
No!
Go on back to the house, Joey. Go on. All right, Charlie, I'm convinced. I'll send for Doc Selby in the morning. Well, I don't care how you kill that outlaw, just so you get it done. Personally, I wouldn't call on a vet to do the job.
You wouldn't.
I'll be here in the morning. I want to make sure that Doc Selby does the job properly.
Good for nothing maverick. Don't he know what this is going to do to Joey?
I don't think he cares, Pete. Isn't easy to lose someone or something you love. I better have a talk with Joey. Joey.
You're gonna kill Fury.
Joey, we've given Fury every chance. But when he starts raiding other people's livestock and maybe killing them, well, then that's going too far.
But I told you it's another horse.
Well, maybe it was. But it wasn't another horse out there tonight. Fury will never know what happened. I'm getting the vet. He'll give him something to make him go to sleep.
But Fury isn't...
Joey, I'm just as fond of Fury as you are, but he's a wild horse and he can't be tamed. Now, you lie down and try to forget it.
Golly, Fury. There was only someone who could help us. Please, God. You know it isn't Fury who's been doing it. Can't you make Mr. Jim see that? Fury's an awful good horse. He's got no one but me to look out for him. Just 'cause I'm little, they all think I'm lying. I know how tough it is to be all alone with nobody to care about you. I guess you know it, too. That's the way it is with Fury. Nobody likes him anymore except me. And I don't count. Golly, God. If you can't help me figure out what to do, they're gonna... You really don't know why they put you in here. If you could only talk, you could tell them about that other horse. Maybe then they'd believe us. Say, even though you can't talk, Maybe you know where he lives. I know. I'll let you out of here and you show me where he lives. Fury, wait for me! Fury? You tired? So am I. Well, we gotta find that white horse. Even if it takes us all night.
Joey. Joey's not in his room.
Yeah, probably out in the corral with Fury.
I hope so. Fury's not there either.
Reckon he didn't want to wait for Doc Selby.
Get the horses saddled and let's get after him.
Buggy's coming.
Never mind, get the horses.
Doc Selby here yet?
I haven't had a chance to call him. Joey's missing, so's Fury.
Well, if you think Stalin's going to change my mind, you're...
Now listen, Stevens, that boy Joey may be in trouble. Now either you help find him or get out of here.
Well, all right, I'll go along. But remember, when you find the boy, you'll also find that horse.
That's a bridge we'll cross when we get to it. Hank, you and Sam go over to Ridge Canyon. We'll cover the range to the south.
You whipped him, Fury, you whipped him. But we can't let him get away.
You all right, Joey?
I'm okay. Fury and that white horse.
I know, I saw it, Joey.
And so did Charlie Stevens.
Now, what have you got to say for yourself, Charlie?
I want you to accept my apology, boy.
Oh, that's all right, Mr. Stevens.
Anybody can make a mistake. You know what this is, don't you? And this time you behave yourself. Get going. See? I told you to let me ride him. Now can we go after that white horse?
You got enough to handle right here without worrying about any old wild stallion. No, you just concentrate on making a good range horse out of Fury. Then maybe one of these days we'll go after that renegade.
Okay, Mr. Jim. Don't have to teach Fury much. He's already the best horse on the range right now. Let's go, Fury.
He smells something. Give him his head. Doesn't a fence mean anything to you, mister?
Oh, I'm sorry. I was trying for a shortcut to those hills over there.
Well, those hills have been there a long time. What's your hurry?
Oh, they're a hot spot in the new uranium map issue today. I was hoping to beat the rush.
By cutting your way across my ranch and letting my stock run loose, huh?
Oh, I was going to mend the wire as soon as we went through. But those horses beat us to it.
I'll take your word for that. Now turn your rig around and get back on the road.
It'll take me 2 days that way. I'll be too late to stake a claim.
It'll take me 2 days to round up those horses. Now get going. That way.
And if I don't?
Well, if you don't, the sheriff will meet you on the other side of my property. And cutting a fence in this country will cost you 60 days. What's the matter, Joey?
Nothing, Jim. I was just wondering. As long as the fence was cut, would it have hurt to let him go through?
If I let them go through, then I'm inviting all the other prospectors to go through, too. They save time, but I lose horses.
I didn't think of that.
It's a question of property, too. Rules and regulations. I didn't make them, but I live by them. So do you. So should everybody else. Come on, let's get the fence fixed before we lose more horses.
Still, Fury. You're the most sticklest bronc I ever broke in all my life on the range.
How many wild broncs have you broken, young man?
Only him. And he's not really broke yet. I'm the only one who can ride him.
You must be quite a horseman.
Well, Jim and Pete ride a lot better, but they can't ride Fury. He won't let them.
Is that so? Is Mr. Newton around?
No, sir, but he'll be back any minute. He and Pete are out getting the horses. The uranium hunters let loose.
Oh, yes, of course. I heard there was a strike. Do you mind if I wait around till they get back?
They're back now. Gentlemen to see you, Jim.
Mr. Newton?
That's me.
I'm Bob Ford from the Welfare Department.
Oh, yes, of course. Judge Blake said you were coming over. Joey take care of you all right?
I sure did.
Good. You'll stay for lunch, won't you?
Thank you, I will.
Good. Come on along. What's the matter, Joey? Aren't you hungry?
No, sir. Fury's calling me. May I be excused?
Mm-hmm. Poor kid.
They all lose their appetites when I show up. But it'll come back all right as soon as he finds out that I didn't come here just to make trouble for him.
Well, I'm glad to hear that myself. You had me a little bit worried.
Well, contrary to popular belief, we welfare workers are not horned devils. This is just a routine checkup. We make them periodically on all custody cases to see how the boys are adjusting themselves to their new environments.
Oh, well, if that's all there is to it, then you can write off this case as of now. Joey's doing fine. I hope he can stay here for good. Does that settle it?
Well, not quite. You see, the decision of the department as to extending your guardianship for another year will depend pretty well on my report. And for that, I'll have to ask a lot of pretty nosy questions.
Fire.
Well, first of all, let's get one thing settled. Why can neither of you ride Fury?
Well, the funny thing is that we can't. I bet Fury's thrown Pete and me 10 times apiece.
Well, how do you account for that?
Well, I tell you, I reckon Fury's never heard of your welfare department. He just took it on himself to adopt Joey permanent-like. And I don't want to be around when anybody tries to bust him loose.
I wouldn't either.
Why do these welfare workers always have to come snooping around? Always checking up on people. Think I done something wrong. Hey, nobody's supposed to be in the bunkhouse. Come on, Fury. Something. No, honest, I'm not. You're too. What'd you get? Nothing, I tell you. I know you. You're the uranium hunter's kid. How come you're still around here?
My dad went down to a pond to get some water for the radiator. The rattlesnake bit him.
Gee, that's bad. Where is he now?
We camped in a shack over in those hills.
I know the place.
Dad did what he could for himself. But when I woke up this morning, he was real bad. He's getting worse and worse, and I came over here looking for help.
Come on, I'll take you to Jim. He'll know what to do.
No, not him. He'll probably have me arrested.
You wouldn't say that if you knew Jim. Come on!
No, please. My dad's dying. Can't you lend me a horse and I'll ride for a doctor?
I got no right lending horses to strangers.
Then you go get a doctor.
Okay, but first I'll take you to your dad.
Let's hurry. Where are the horses?
We'll ride double on my horse, Fury.
It's worse. It wasn't like this when I left. Doesn't even know we're here.
Gee, he needs help real bad.
He's dying.
I better hurry and get the doctor.
Wait. Won't you need some money?
I'll tell Doc Fulmer it's an emergency. Maybe he'll trust us.
Well, here. Take this anyway.
$20?
It's from what I took back there. From the pair of pants.
Pete's money. And you told me you didn't take anything.
You see why I had to take it.
Well, I guess a fellow might do most anything to keep his father from dying. Anyway, I don't think Pete will mind. When he finds out what the money was for, I'll be right back. Out on call, back at 3:30. Doc Fulmer. Dear Doc Fulmer, please come quick. Yours very truly, Joey Newton.
Hello, Joey. Where's the fire?
What's the best thing for a rattlesnake bite?
Doctor, I reckon?
Doc Fulmer's out, but I left a note for him.
Yeah? When did it happen?
Last night. He's awful sick.
It's pretty late for medicine. But if he ain't dead yet, this'll keep him going until the doctor gets there. Now, look. You have him swallow 2 of these every hour.
Thanks. Here's your money.
And I'll telephone and locate Dr. Fulmer for it. Hey! Hey! You're forgetting your change.
And that's the way it's been ever since. Joey's a great kid.
Sounds wonderful. Now I have just one more official bit of business. I'd like to check his room.
Oh, that'll be a pleasure. It couldn't be neater. Come on along. See? And it's always this way. I make Joey really toe the mark about keeping things in order. Does it pass inspection?
Well, I'd like it better if there was a shirt or a shoe that wasn't just so, like a boy's room should be.
Well, you mean it's too neat?
Well, it's a little like an institution. You know, a boy who feels completely at home must slip up once in a while, leave something out of order. I ought to know. I've got 2 of my own.
Well, maybe I have been pouring it on him a little bit.
Jim! Oh, Jim!
Something wrong, Pete?
I've been robbed. I was just down at the bunkhouse. My layout's all messed up, clothes chucked around, and then money missing from this pants.
How much?
$20 bill.
Well, maybe you misplaced it.
Well, I don't keep my diggings as neat as Joey does, but I don't hang my pants on the floor like I found this.
None of the hands back from the range?
Ain't been a soul around all morning.
Did you ask Joey if he'd seen anyone?
He ain't here. He's rode off on Fury.
Joey was here all alone when I arrived.
Are you suggesting that Joey took that money? He wouldn't do that.
I certainly hope you're right.
I know I am. I'd bet this ranch on it.
Where's the doctor? He was out, but he'll be here. I got some medicine at the drugstore. This'll help him. Get some water.
Getting kind of late. Past time for Joey to feed the stock. Tain't like him to miss that.
Didn't Joey ever give you and Jim anything to worry about before?
Sure, but nothing like this. Them times, he always seemed to get himself in a fix trying to get people out of trouble.
Maybe it's the same way this time.
Well, I've called all Joey's friends. None of them have seen him.
Well, don't you think we better get saddled up and start hunting for him?
No, no hurry. I have a hunch he'll be showing up here any minute.
If he does, are you going to ask him about the money?
No, not a word. And I don't want anyone else to either. If Joey knows anything about that money, he'll tell me himself without being asked. That's the way it's always been between us, and I'm not going to change it now.
The medicine's done him some good. He can sit up. Dad! Come get him back to bed, Joey. Give him some more medicine. Yeah, but he sure weighs a lot.
He isn't breathing very much.
I'd better get Jim. The doctor may be too late.
Please, Joey, don't leave me.
Gee, Larry. Fury could get him.
Fury? But he's only a horse.
Sometimes that horse acts like he went to school. You watch. Fury, I want you to do something real important. Go back to the ranch and bring Jim here. You understand? Bring Jim here.
Hello? Yes, this is Jim Newton.
I've been waiting here all afternoon for Joey to come back for his change.
His change?
Yeah, a $20 bill. Say, anybody out your place get bit by a rattlesnake?
Well, no, not here. Why? I see. He didn't say where he was going. Uh-huh. All right, well, thanks, Mr. Jessup. Pete will pick up the money. Goodbye. Well, Joey had the money, all right, but it was for somebody else. He tried to get Doc Fulmer, and then he bought some snakebite remedy at the drugstore.
Are you telling me Joey really had my $20 bill?
Well, it looks like it, but I'd still bet that he didn't take it.
I'll take half your bet anytime.
Well, let's saddle up and go looking for him.
I'd like to go along if you don't mind.
Glad to have you.
I hope you've got a kind-hearted and tolerant horse. I'll get my boots and Levi's.
What about that welfare fella? He's a smoothie. Can he get Joey took away from here?
Nobody's going to take Joey away from me. Not without an act of Congress.
Hi, Doc. Gee, am I glad you're here.
Hello, Joey. I had a hard time finding you. I hope I'm not too late.
Doctor, he doesn't move. He just lies there.
Well, son, we'll have a look and see if we can't make him jump around a bit, huh? Uh-huh. Now, let's see.
any idea where to look?
Well, Rattlesnake's the only clue. Most of them are up on the South Ridge.
Look, there's a riderless horse. It's Fury.
It's anything I've ever seen. He's trying to tell us something.
Go ahead, Fury. We'll follow you.
He isn't moving very much.
He will. Your father's heart is as strong as a diesel engine. You know, Joey, your handwriting's pretty good. It isn't every fellow that can save a man's life by writing notes. And you spell all the words right, too.
I have the money to pay you with. I mean, I did have. I forgot to get my change at the drugstore. Mr. Jessup will pay you. Must be at least $18.
$18? Why, I don't get so much from ordinary people just for an appendectomy. I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll pick up $3 and I won't tell Jim Newton what a spendthrift you are, huh?
You did it, Fury, you did it.
Well, I'll say you did. What's going on, Joey?
The uranium hunter. He's sick. He's inside. The doctor's with him.
Hi, Jim.
Hello, Doc. What's happening?
Well, Joey here did a sort of Paul Revere's ride to get me so as I could treat Mr. Marsh for a rattlesnake bite. He even wanted to pay me $18.
You want to tell me about the money, Joey?
Do I have to? Even if I pay it back out of my allowance?
Paying it back doesn't alter the fact that the money was stolen.
Even if it was only borrowed?
Are you admitting that you actually took the money? Answer me.
Please, Mr. Newton, I can't let Joey take the blame. He didn't steal the money. I did. He didn't even know I had it until we got here.
And that's when you borrowed it to get help from Mr. Marsh?
Yes, sir. And Larry only took it to get a doctor.
Now, gentlemen, let me tell you something. Whether the money was borrowed or stolen, if Joey hadn't got those tablets, my patient never would have pulled through.
Your point's well taken, Doc. Joey, thanks for backing me up all the way along the line. Well, let's get back to the ranch. I don't think Pete's going to want to bring any charges.
Charges? I'm leaving that change of mine at the drugstore to be drunk up in soda water.
Well, thanks, Jim, for your hospitality and your cooperation. I'll be running now.
Well, not without at least a hint of what's on that report, I hope.
Don't worry about that. You came through 100%.
I came through.
You don't think I ever had any doubts about Joey, do you? No, my only worry was you. Whether you had the necessary understanding and faith to make you a fit guardian.
Well, I'll be doggone.
And you're a mighty lucky young fellow to have such a guardian. So are you, Fury. Goodbye, Joey.
Bye.
Goodbye, everybody.
Goodbye. Bye. Bye.
Joey. I just got your report card in the mail.
Report card? How bad is it?
Well, as a matter of fact, it's the very best one you've ever had. Nothing worse than a bee. So it seems to me it calls for that little reward I promised you. Now, let me see. Suppose I make it, well, suppose I make it this .22 rifle of mine for your own first gun. How would you like that, huh?
Gee, Jim, that'd be swell.
Good. Now, remember, this is not a toy. It's a powerful, light-caliber weapon.
Yes, sir.
Okay, what's the first thing you do?
Shoot off a toe, most likely.
Aw, Pete. You open the chamber to see if there are any cartridges in the magazine. See that, Fury? I first shot off my new rifle and I hit it. What's he afraid of?
Well, I think Fury remembers the rules better than you do. You were pointing a gun at him.
Gee, I forgot. But it wasn't loaded.
I know. The unloaded ones that cause most of the accidents. Remember that now. Never point a gun at anybody.
Yes, Mr. Jim. Can we set the can up for another shot?
Oh, anybody could hit that target. Let's see what you can do with that poster the sheriff put up.
All right, squeeze the trigger now. Don't pull it. Don't take him too far, Pete. Remember, the shorter the legs, the longer the mile.
This buckaroo can walk me into the ground any day. We'll be back for lunch.
All right. Be careful.
You can't come along this time, Fury. You stay home and take care of things. I'll be back in time to give you your lunch.
Now I reckon it's time for you to have your first lesson in how not to get lost. Take a good look behind you. Now, you can find your way home from here, can't you?
Sure. Over that hill.
Yeah. Well, when you're in the woods where there ain't no trails, if you look behind you every few steps, you'll always find your way out.
Gee, that's something to remember, all right.
See that you do. Now, how about that rifle? Safe to catch on?
Sure.
All right, okay now. Tuck her under your arm, barrel is slanting down, and push through the bushes with your left arm, not the rifle. Let's go.
wouldn't be this close. He's probably figuring on laying low in the woods until night. That'll give us a chance to surround the area. You get under cover and watch the car. I'll get down to Jim Newton's place and get some help.
Look at them.
You know, those funny little holes?
Them's deer tracks.
How can you tell?
A deer has a clove hoof. Makes a mark like this. Only thing like it in the woods. Looks like there's about 4 of them. Probably down to Salt Lake. Want to see them?
Gee, what I?
Come along then. But real quiet. Don't step on any dry twigs.
Hi, Helen.
Hello, Jim.
Well, to what do I owe the pleasure of this unexpected visit?
Well, now, save your pretty speeches. I'm calling on a much younger and handsomer man. Where's Joey?
He's going out for his first hunting lesson with his new rifle.
But we had a date for an American history lesson to help him pass his exam on Monday, didn't he tell you?
Oh, no, I guess he must have forgotten it in the excitement.
Well, I understand, but I'd sure hate to have to flunk him on Monday.
Oh, you won't. He'll be back for lunch, and you can pour history into him all afternoon.
Morning, Miss Watkins. Jim, I need your phone.
Well, sure, Si. Something going on?
Red Cummings. He's holed up in the Willow Run Woods. I have to raise enough men to surround him.
Jim, you look worried.
Well, I am. Pete took Joey around the Willow Run to avoid climbing the ridge, and if they run into this guy Cummings, I'm going after them.
Wait, you can't go alone.
I'm having the men go into those woods from the other side. Can you saddle me a horse, Jim, and I'll go in from this side?
You bet I can, and I'm going in with you.
Swell.
Helen, you wait here. If Pete and Joey show up, tell them to stay put.
Gee, they're pretty.
Prettiest things in the woods.
I couldn't shoot one of them.
Tell you the truth, I never could neither. Come on. No sense bothering them. Come on, come on. Now I'm going to give you a little lesson in tracking. We'll see if you can follow trails.
Like the Indians.
Just like them. Here's what we do. You stay here and count to 100. I'll take off and leave a trail for you. Marks on the ground, broken branches, rags, all kinds of things. And you're going to track me. Close your eyes and start counting.
1, 2, 3.
Hey! Not so fast.
Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 89, 90, 91, 92, 93, 94, 95, 96, 97, 98, 99, 100. Ready or not, here I come.
Hiya, kid. You give him an honest count and you didn't even peek once.
Hey, that's my rifle, mister.
It's a nice little gun. Of course, a Winchester 30-30 would do me more good. But these high-powered 22s pack plenty of punch. Let's get going.
Go where?
Just where you were going, trailing your old man. Only this time I'm going to play, right behind you.
Why do you want to see him? Who are you anyway?
You just do what you're told and nobody gets hurt. Now hit the trail. Starts right over there by that tree. Hey, it's this way. You see this busted branch? So don't try leading me off. I was tracking deer before Boy Scouts was invented. Now let's get going. Well, some of my publicity, huh? So you know who I am. What are all these holes doing in my face?
I was using it as a target.
Sure didn't improve my looks any. All right, come on, let's get going.
Well, took you long enough. Red Cummings.
Pleased to meet you, too. Smart kid you got here. Knows when the deck's stacked against him. You better play the same way.
That ain't no lion gun, but it talks plain enough. What do you want from us?
I don't want anything from you but peace and quiet. All I want from the kid is a saddled horse and some grub.
I'd have to go to the ranch for that.
How far is it?
About 2 miles, I guess.
Okay, I'll give you an hour. If you're not back by then, I'll have to give my friend here peace and quiet for good. Now get going.
I'll run all the way.
Wait a minute. One other thing. Don't tell anybody and don't bring anybody back with you. If you want to find this old galoot here alive when you get here. Now get going. Now you turn around.
Here, boy. I understand, boy. You don't want anyone else to feed you but Joey. You miss him, don't you? Well, he'll be home soon. I know he will. Well, I'll just leave this here anyway.
Boy, am I glad to see you. Pete's in trouble and we gotta help him. Now kneel down and let me get on you. That Red Cummings wants a horse, Fury. And you're it. Here, eat your lunch, and I'll be right back.
Joey! Oh, what a relief. We were worried about you.
Oh, Miss Helena, I didn't know you were here.
Forgot all about our date for a history review, didn't you? Here, let me make these sandwiches for you. I bet you and Pete are half starved after your tramp in the woods.
Yes, ma'am, we sure are. I mean, I guess Pete is. I'll get the paper bags.
Paper bag for what?
For the lunch. I got a ticket back to the woods. Pete's still out there.
Well, I'm afraid Pete's just going to have to go hungry. You're staying right here. That's Jim's orders. Why, there's a dangerous criminal hiding in those woods. Jim's gone with the sheriff's posse to help look for him. It's no day for a picnic.
But I got a ticket back to the woods. I promise.
I'm sure Pete will understand, and when he gets hungry enough, he'll come home. Now, you get a glass of milk and sit down. And after you've finished eating, we'll go over your history.
Fury's standing out in the sun. I better go and unsaddle him.
Look here, Joey, no tricks. I told Jim I'd promise to see that you stay safely in this house, and that's where you're going to stay. Now sit down and eat your lunch.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, I'll give you an hour. If you're not back by then, I'll have to give my friend here peace and quiet for good. The kid ought to be back by now. If he crosses me, you'll be the first to go.
Well, I think that ought to get you through the American Revolution. Now, you wash your hands, and I'll get your work laid out for you in the living room.
Sound out of you and I'll pull the trigger.
That kid's tipped him off. All right, I'll give him 15 minutes. If he's not back by then...
Boy, are you a lifesaver. Joey!
Jim, Joey and Peter are in some kind of trouble.
Where are they?
Over in the West Woods.
Let's get over there.
We've already covered that area.
We'll cover it again.
Okay, kid, get off the horse. Where's the grub? You tell anybody?
No, sir.
Good boy. Hey, this is quite a horse you got here. I'm gonna need quite a horse.
Won't I ever get him back?
Sure, I'll mail him back to you.
Can I say goodbye to him?
Yeah, go ahead.
I'll do just like I told you. Keep still till he gets right in the saddle. Then buck and give him all you got.
He's all yours now, mister.
Maybe I better take you along with me.
Oh, no, sir.
Sure, these woods are crawling with cops. You'll be good insurance if we run into any of them.
But you promised.
They won't shoot with you sitting up here. All right, come on, kid. Whoa, boy. Come on. Whoa. All right, come on. Put your foot up there.
Now, Fury, now! That one! Give it to him!
Get away! Go get him! There, boy! Give it to him!
Well, it's about time. Now fire that gun. There, get me out of this. Come on.
Joe, you all right?
There he is, Sheriff. Red Cummings. Fury and I caught him for you.
Well, Joey, guess I'll have to make a deputy out of you for this.
Thanks, Sheriff.
All right, Red, come on down out of there.
That was very good, Joey. Now, tell me in a few words the story of Paul Revere.
Well, he had a friend in the church steeple who was going to signal him when the redcoats were coming, by land or by the ocean.
Yes, then what happened?
So this Paul Revere, he watched them across the ocean. And when he saw the two lights in his steeple, he went and jumped on his horse and went off shouting, "The British are coming! The British are coming! The British are coming!"
Well, there's one thing certain. He knows more about history than I thought.
The British